We are now living in a time of great difficulty, probably the greatest that most of us have ever seen. The limitations of our freedom and pressures to conform are taking a significant toll on all of us. So many friends and colleagues have contacted me in the last weeks. There's a feeling of isolation, of hopelessness. The fear is so tangible that it's almost visible. And there's a lot at stake. The potential losses are extremely high for so many, truly for us all. The truth is that there is a lot at stake, not only for our city, our province, and our nation, but also the entire world. There are choices that are being made today that may have significant impact into future generations. I'm choosing to speak regarding freedom, not only for myself, but also my children and hopefully my grandchildren. The decisions that are made today will impact us far into the future. Brave men and women fought and bled and died to secure the freedom that we enjoy in this great country. A freedom that I can now admit I have taken for granted, one that I never felt I needed to defend. But now I have a question. Are we being deceived? Deception is a difficult thing. To combat it, we must seek truth. If we choose to ignore truth and do nothing, then we are sure to be deceived. We do have an enemy, but it's not your coworker. It's not your neighbor or your family member. It is fear. Fear makes cowards of us all. Fear will always drive you to make the wrong decision. Fear blocks our ability to take in and disseminate information effectively. Fear can push us to act in ways we may later regret. Fear can paralyze a nation and bring us to our knees in a way that nothing else can. At this point, our biggest foe is fear. But fear isn't the only option. There is hope. If you remember nothing else that I say, please remember this. You are not fragile. You are powerful. You can do the hard things. And standing together, we are formidable. And when we take heart and stand together, we are unstoppable. Those that think differently than you, that may be on the other side of this issue, they are not your enemies. They are your fellow citizens and deserving of your respect. They too have the freedom to express those opinions and move in the directions that takes them. They are afforded the same privilege of freedom. They are our brothers and sisters, and this great country is founded on and flourishes because of a wide array of beliefs. That is what freedom is. So, what can we do to combat fear? I have some practical tips. Find ways to value and encourage others. The most amazing thing about encouraging others that I've found is that when I take the opportunity to encourage others, I am encouraged in the process. Valuing others despite their stance on the issues doesn't make them agree with you, but it does take away your stress when they don't. It has been said that fear is destroyed when love rises up. Remember, you're not alone in this. There are others out there fighting for the same things you are. When we stand together, we grow stronger. Find things to be thankful for. This can be incredibly hard when the issues are large and pressing, but we always still have things that are good too. Choosing to take some time to focus on the positives allows us to gain perspective. When we take our focus off the problem, it gives us an opportunity to focus on a solution. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Our thought lives are detrimental to our overall health. In times of difficulty, our minds tend to race, and it's human nature that the greatest majority of those thoughts will be negative. Think through those thoughts, decide which ones are true and which ones aren't true, and dispose of the ones that aren't, and hang on to the ones that have the truth behind them. Let me give you a real-life example of how these principles can work. If we believe that there are no early treatments for COVID, then we send people home where they will get sicker. Their friends and neighbors won't step in to help them out if we believe that catching it is a death sentence, and we've been ordered not to associate. Fear has not only helped create the problem, but it has paralyzed us from creating a solution. If we decide as a society that we will not allow fear to control us, we find creative ways to help our neighbors when they're in a difficult spot. If we seek truth, we find out that we have brilliant doctors who have found effective early treatments for COVID that prevent hospitalizations and death. As a society, we can ensure that those treatments are made readily available and find ways to get them out to those who need them. If we allow ourselves to be divided, we cannot win, any of us. Yes, there is diversity in thought, but divided in spirit, we will be the masters of our own destruction. The backbone of this country is unity in spite of our diversity. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right." Remember, this story is not finished yet. Why? Because there is always hope, and we are overcomers.